All right, good evening, East Alabama and West Georgia. Dr. Don with you, like 2 days in a row now, dealing with heavy thunderstorms across East Alabama and West Georgia. And this afternoon, we actually have a severe thunderstorm warning. Didn't have one of those yesterday, but today's a little different story. It is 5:30 Central, 6:30 Eastern. This is Dr. Don in the Southern Union State Community College Severe Weather Season Center, I should say. And so let's go ahead and take a look at what we've got. We've got a brand new severe thunderstorm warning that has just been issued. Now, this is going to be up there in the Anniston-Oxford area, right along I-20. The warning is actually from northwest Clay County all the way up to the Anniston-Oxford area and a little bit to the north of that. Let me see if I can get the text of this warning up here, and I'll read it to you. All right, so that's not cooperating. We'll do it a little differently. We'll read this offline to you. All right, so the National Weather Service Office has issued a severe thunderstorm warning. This is going to be for northeastern Talladega County, southeastern Calhoun County, Cleburne County, and northeastern Clay County in east central Alabama. This warning is in effect until 6:30 p.m. A National Weather Service Doppler radar is indicating a severe thunderstorm located along a line extending from Ohatchee to Anniston Regional Airport to near Ashland, moving to the northeast at 35 miles per hour. Hazards include 60-mile-per-hour wind gust, and this is indicated by radar. So the locations in the path of this storm include Anniston, Oxford, Heflin, West End, Cobbtown, Fort McClellan, Sachs, Munford, Hobson City, Fruithurst, Edwardsville, the Anniston Regional Airport, Muscadine, Abernathy, Mount Cheahaw, Coleman Lake, and Campground. So that's this area right here that we're showing you that's outlined in the yellow. So from about Ashland up to Lineville and then all the way up to the Anniston-Oxford area is where this storm is located right now. Now it's moving to the northeast, so a piece of this could catch northwest Randolph when it moves through in just a few moments. So you folks over here from about Lake Wedowee north in Randolph County, from Ophelia over to Wedowee, back over to just north of Potash Ridge and north in Randolph County. You need to get ready for this storm. It's probably going to rotate through northern Randolph as well. If you're down here in Clay County, you'll see that the southern tip of it is right there just north of downtown Ashland. So I'm not sure that the heaviest part of this actually affects downtown Ashland. I think it's going to be just north of Ashland. And then Lineville, you're going to kind of be in the same boat. The southern end of this storm will probably pass just to the north of downtown Lineville. Barfield, I think you're probably going to catch the extreme southern tip of this. And then when it moves on over into Randolph County, if you're along Highway 48 or north, you got to keep an eye on this, but I think probably it's going to track a little bit further than 48 when it gets into Randolph County as well. Probably something on the order of Fuller's Crossroads over to Swag, and then maybe over to around Newell, and maybe just to the north of Woodland. Maybe Woodland, you might get in on the action. We'll have to see how it progresses when it gets over there. But for now, if you're up here in Needmore, just north of Delta, if you're in Delta, you need to be prepared. You've got a pretty heavy thunderstorm moving your way that could have 60-mile-per-hour winds. If you're in Chulafini, same thing up there around Able. Of course, anywhere along I-20, now from Bynum all the way over to near the Oxford exit, it is just absolutely torrential rainfall falling there. And you can see the lightning strikes. Just in this frame alone, we've had 11 lightning strikes in the last few minutes. So pretty good lightning output with this storm as well. If you're up here in Heflin, best idea is to stay put for a minute and let this storm pass before you get back on I-20 if you're up there traveling. Over here in Cleburne County, places like Chula Finney, up here around Abernathy, down here around Hightower, Ranburn, places like that you want to be on the lookout. Anywhere on 46 from I-20 all the way back down to the southeastern corner of Cleburne County. Get ready. The storm's coming right at you. It's pretty much going to parallel I-20 for the rest of its duration in the state of Alabama. And then when it gets over here in Georgia, it'll probably still be along I-20, maybe lifting a little bit north of I-20 by the time it gets over here to Douglasville. But even you folks over here in Carrollton and Bowden, down to around Roopville, you want to keep an eye on this storm over here around Anniston, Alabama. It is moving your way. Let's put this thing in motion so that you can get a good idea of how this thing is moving this afternoon, and let it get all the frames loaded up, and then it may or may not slow down just a little bit. All right, well, I'll just do it manually because that's too fast. All right, so we can see the storm coming up I-20. This was at about 5 o'clock, and then here's about 5:20, and you can see that it's just pretty much moving right parallel to I-20, and that is the current shot right there. Now let's look downstream a little bit. We do have some individual storms popping up, though they're much smaller than the one that has just prompted the severe thunderstorm warning. We have a storm down here in southern Clay County. This is going to be a very small storm near the mountain community. That's going to move off to the northeast, and that will eventually get over here in Randolph County as well. And then down here at New Site, just to the south and southwest of downtown New Site, we have a storm that has developed there. It's moving off to the northeast. That one will eventually move into the Wadley area. Then we get down here in Chambers County. There's one right there just to the southeast of Budston, just to the northeast of Waverly. Then back over here in the southwest portion of Tallapoosa County, one near our town, just north of Equality over in Coosa County, and down in Elmore, we have one popping up right there around Eclectic. Pretty good storm down here in the just the extreme southern tip of Tallapoosa County, south of Reeltown, south of Tallahassee, though this has probably got the southeast corner of downtown Tallahassee covered up right now. And so that's going to move on up toward Notasulga and eventually end up over here in Lee County. So as you can see this afternoon, we're getting what I call popcorn storms down here in most of our coverage area. And then we have got a big one up here. This is a thunderstorm complex up here from Anniston all the way back down to just north of Lineville, and that's moving off to the northeast. All right, so setting the stage one more time, it is 5:38 on your Wednesday afternoon. Dr. Don with you as we've gone live now because we have one of our counties, actually a couple of our counties under severe thunderstorm warning due to a line of severe thunderstorms moving along the I-20 corridor up here near between Anniston and Lineville. So let's go back in a little bit closer on this storm. And I'm going to look at a couple of different products right quick, and we're doing this together. Hadn't had a chance to look at this. Yeah, we got a little wind right there. Let's see what we're showing. So we may have some wind gust in the vicinity. Now this is up in the upper levels of the atmosphere, showing 52 miles per hour right there. Odds are that's not making it all the way to the ground, but it could be. The warning is for just that, 60 mile per hour winds. We're showing 52.5 on our Doppler radar, so that is whoop, there was a 57 mile per hour wind right there. 57.1 right there. That's right there at Chula Finney. So some pretty good winds right there. Again, all of that may not be making it to the ground, but there's a chance that it could be, so be very careful if you're in that area. Let me turn the telestrator on and I'll show you the bright colors right here. That's the leading edge of where the wind is, and it's moving in this general direction. So Chula Finney, the wind's coming at you right now. Heflin, you're next. It's going to be coming right at you as well. Delta, you're down here on the southern tip of where we're showing the highest winds. But you certainly could get some gusty winds as the storm comes through Delta in just a few moments also. No question that is the strongest storm out there right now this afternoon. Let me go back to the reflectivity. And we're going to keep an eye on this small stuff down here in Clay, Coosa, Tallapoosa, and Chambers. And now we've got a small one popping up over in Troup County, just north of LaGrange, between LaGrange and Hogansville. The storm is moving at about 22 miles per hour. And there's the track on it. We'll give you some times. Ohatchee in about 2 minutes. Blue Mountain at 5:49. Sacs around 5:49. Anniston around 5:49. Hobson City about 5:51. Oxford at 5:51. Weaver around 5:55. Jacksonville up there the University at 6:05. Heflin around 6:06. And Piedmont at 6:21. That is the radar predicted time of arrival. You always take that with a grain of salt, folks, because we're depending on algorithms to give us these times. Those are approximate times. They're not exact. I can tell you, if you're in Ohatchee, Blue Mountain, Sacs, Anniston, Hobson City, or Oxford, this storm's coming at you, and it'll be there in just a few minutes. If you're downstream, it may take a few more minutes to get there, but this is coming at you. A pretty good-sized storm right there along I-20. If you're in Randolph County and you're on 431 and you're going to Anniston or you're going to Birmingham, pull off up there somewhere and let's just let this thing move through before you try to drive. Nobody should be driving in this thunderstorm up here. And I'm talking, it is raining extremely hard on I-20 and all of these county roads. 431 up here, just before you get to the 431 interchange, it's going to be, those are winding roads up there on 431, so you don't need to be driving right there. Basically, from you get up here at the intersection of 431 and Highway 9, right there. You want to stop right there. Just pull over somewhere at that location and let this thing move through, because the rain's about to come through there as well. You just don't need to be out there driving in this stuff. It's not good driving conditions at all. All right, so let me run up here to the chat board and see if we have any questions. Kelly, the situation we've got right now is a severe thunderstorm warning has been issued up here for northern Clay, for portions of Cleburne and Calhoun, for a severe thunderstorm that's moving along I-20, moving off to the northeast. So that's why we're on live this afternoon. Tin Chop's in the house. Hey, Trudy, nice to have you. Janice, nice to see you. You're welcome, Diane. Thank you. Ann Brown, thank you. Yeah, Chrissy, it's a nasty-looking storm. There's no question that we probably got some pretty gusty winds. The warning is for winds up to 60 miles per hour. Are we seeing 60-mile-per-hour winds everywhere in the path of this storm? No, we're probably not. But there's certainly going to be pockets in there that could be putting winds on the ground of up to 60 miles per hour. And, of course, that'll bring down some trees. So we could have trees and power lines tangled up in the area where you see the yellow polygon. Thank you, Cecilia. Good to see you back in here this afternoon. There's Miss Mary. She is holding down the fort in Wadley, Alabama. Jackie's watching us up in Newell. Rock Mills is fine right now, Miss Melissa, but you may have some rain there in a little while. Yeah. Leaks in basements. Yeah, if you have a basement in your home, it's simply a matter of when that leak is going to show itself. Trust me. They all leak at some point. Sharon Smith. Hello, Roanoke, Alabama. All right, so Mariah's watching us in Jacksonville. So that's good to know. We've got somebody up here watching us that's actually going to be affected by this storm. And we should see the storm in the Jacksonville area around 5:57. So you got just a few more minutes up there, Mariah, and this thing will be right there on top of you there in Jacksonville. So just make sure you stay indoors. Make sure you're somewhere that's safe, and you'll be just fine as the storm passes through. Bruce is also watching us from Wadley. I'm mighty proud of my Wadley folks. The town of Wadley is a supporter of Dr. Don's weather page, and we appreciate that. Miss Donna McKay, the mayor there in Wadley, and the town council, and all the fine folks of Wadley, Alabama, who support Dr. Don's weather page. We thank you for that. And if you'd like to be a supporter, all you have to do is go to drdonwx.com and check out the menu page across the top of the screen. And if you have a business, you can run over there and support us. And if you'd like to just support us in general, there's a donate button right there on the top menu of our homepage at drdonwx.com. So we appreciate anything you can do to help us out. This does get expensive, I'll be honest with you. But so far, everybody's been so gracious enough to support us, we've been able to continue this. And I'll put the website in the chat room, and there it is right there. All you got to do is click on that, and that'll get you over there to our website. We thank you for that. Let's see. Marie is in Barfield. That's down here where we're getting some pretty good weather also. Yeah, it's just about to come through Barfield, but you're going to catch the extreme southern tip of it, and then there's going to be a little lull in the action, then we've got some more back behind it. Barfield, you're not up here in the meat of this storm, if you will. Places like Needmore, just north of Delta, Needmore, Chulafini, they're getting hammered right now. Abel, Mount Cheahaw would not be a good place to be right now. And this stretches all the way over into the state of Georgia. Let me take that off because that looks like a tornado polygon, and we don't want to confuse anybody. This is a severe thunderstorm warning. There's nothing in here to suggest that we have any tornado activity, as was the case yesterday. It is again today. The atmosphere is not conducive for tornadoes, but again, I caution you, anytime there is a thunderstorm, thunderstorms rotate by nature or they wouldn't be a thunderstorm. So anytime there's a thunderstorm, you never ever can completely rule out the possibility of a tornado. But I'll tell you that the atmosphere set up today is not conducive to produce tornadoes. Now we've got a hail marker right here. And so this is telling us that there is a 50% chance that we have hail in this storm down here approaching Highway 9 in Cleburne County. And then a 0% chance that it's severe. So if there is any hail down here just north of Needmore, it's most likely going to be small. But that's moving toward Highway 9, and we'll end up over here close to 431 in just a few moments. Let me go ahead and start giving you some local streets. Fishhead Road. There's County Road 8. This is up in Cleburne County. Of course, that's State Route 9 and Highway 431. County Road 201. Smith Mill Road. I'm going to come down right along the Randolph County Clay County line. Shallow Church Road, that's over in Clay. Randolph County Road 313. Mount Moriah Road, that's over in Clay. There's Foster's Road in Clay. These are all locations that are just ahead of this line of thunderstorms. So they'll be moving over these areas in the next little bit. And then if we come up here in Cleburne County, there's County Road 19. County Road 53, County Road 73, again, County Road 5. All of these are county roads that are just ahead of this line of thunderstorms. Jacksonville, I know we have at least one person up here watching us in Jacksonville. You're on the extreme north end of this. Should be raining really hard up there in Jacksonville right now. As a matter of fact, you're really not in the warning area. You're just barely north of it. But I got to tell you, the storm looks the same there as it does down here inside this yellow box. And, heck, these thunderstorms don't know anything about severe thunderstorm warnings, so you're close enough to take the precautionary measures. And it should be raining very heavy there right now. But if you look back to the west, it doesn't last long. So the rain should let up fairly quick. If there's any wind associated with the leading edge of this, it's either moving through right now or already has. That portion of it won't last but just a minute, and then the winds will be gone. All right, so I got a question about what are the chances of this storm hitting Wedowee north of the 48 bridge. Well, the part of the storm that they're warning for, you can see, is way up here in extreme northern Clay and in Calhoun and Cleburne County. So obviously this part of the storm that's moving northeast, this part of the storm that's being warned for is not going to come anywhere near Wedowee or anywhere near Highway 48 or anywhere in Randolph County for that matter, except for maybe the extreme northwest corner. But if you look back to the southwest, you see the storm kind of lines up from the northeast to the southwest. So if you look back down here, there are more sections of this storm that probably will make it across the central and northern part of Randolph County. So you got some stormy weather coming, Randolph, no question about that. Whether it will be severe or not, that's hard to say. And the reason they're warning for this section of the storm up here is because that's where the gust front's at. So that doesn't extend. You'll notice this kind of bows out up here. Notice how we kind of come out, it bows out and then it curls back in. Right here where this thing bows out, that is where the wind would be at its worst. So that's what the Weather Service is warning for. When you get back down here to the south and to the part of the storm that'll make it through central and northern Randolph, we don't have much of a bowing feature down here, so not really worried about the wind, though you could have some gusty winds. That should not be severe when it comes through Randolph County, unless it intensifies before it gets there. Now, we also have some individual small storms that are popping up down here to the southwest that are moving northeast that will affect Randolph County. But as you can see, they're very small and they're nowhere near as intense as this stuff up here on I-20. Now just to the east of downtown Anniston, moving into the Heflin area. So I hope, Dallas, I hope that answered your question. Ashley's watching us in Morrison's Crossroads. Hackneyville is in the house. Thank you, Chrissy. Tommy's watching us in Roanoke. And Ray is watching us in Lineville. Go back over here to Clay County. Lineville, you're doing pretty good. You're escaping this thing so far. The worst of it has certainly moved well to the north and east of downtown Lineville. Ashland, you've done pretty good also so far. But look back over here to your southwest. That's a pretty intense looking section of this storm. It's not very wide, but that's going to dump some brief, very heavy rainfall when it comes through, and it's going to probably get over here into Millerville. It'll probably get Ashland. It will probably get Lineville down here. So y'all hang on. It's coming to you. But right now, again, it's not severe. I'm going to take the tracks off because that muddies up the radar just a little bit. And so there's you a pretty good look at what's going on right now. And you can kind of see which direction the storms are moving. And you can see that storm coming right out I-20. It was coming into Anniston at about 5:54, and over there in the Heflin area now at about it was in the Anniston area at around 5:30. It's in the Heflin area now. And then you see this stuff down here in extreme southeastern Clay County. That's going to move on up into Randolph. And then we have a few storm cells down here in Chambers also that will move to the northeast as well. So 5 points. Rock Mills, maybe Roanoke will have to deal with this one. And then just south of Lafayette, that'll also move up to the northeast. You folks up here in Fredonia, Standing Rock, y'all got hammered yesterday afternoon. And we'll have to watch these storms off to your west and southwest as they move up to the north and northeast as well. You folks may be camping over here at Amity Park or anywhere over here on West Point Lake. You got to watch out for this stuff that's forming back to your west and your south. Lynette, you got hit hard yesterday. So did Valley. Right now, I think this will probably move north of the Valley area, and I don't see anything in the immediate area that would threaten Valley. But we look back down here to Notasulga and Tuskegee. We've got stuff forming back here that may eventually make it into the Valley area. Even back down here just north of Eclectic, all the way up to Alexander City. Alexander City, you're pretty good right now. One very, very small cell there just south of 280. But a lot of lightning output down here around Wind Creek. If you're at Lake Martin, if you're at Wind Creek State Park, if you're at Kalijah, all the way up to Our Town, a lot of lightning right there. So you certainly don't need to be on the lake. Bama Park, get ready, it's coming your way. Still Waters, get ready, it's coming your way. If you're anywhere from Wind Creek State Park all the way to Eclectic and any point to the east of that on Lake Martin, you need to be seeking shelter. A lot of lightning with this storm. I think it doesn't mess with Alexander City much. You're going to get one quick shot at some heavy rain right there, but the heaviest part of this storm is way down here between Kalijah and Our Town, moving to the northeast. I think that will skirt just south of Alexander City. Jackson's Gap, Dadeville, Camp Hill, different story. This is going to be coming at you. So you folks who may be traveling on 280, take note of that. If you're in Auburn about to go toward Birmingham on 280, you might want to wait a minute, because actually you've got two areas to be concerned about. This stuff in Notasulga is going to cross 280 just north of Auburn. And then the storm over here between Eclectic and Our Town is going to cross 280 between probably Waverly and Alexander City. It's going to most likely come right over Dadeville and Jackson Gap. Back up here in Clay, let's look at the southeast corner of Clay County. Very heavy rainfall now on 49 and 77. 49 from Mountain Community all the way up to the interchange there with 77, and then 77 all the way back to the Randolph County, Clay County line. Wadley just getting some really light rain, and that's over on the west side. But you look at this stuff up here around Cooley Crossroads. I mean, that's some heavy rainfall right there. From Mellow Valley back down to Cooley Crossroads. Even have a little hail marker here, about a 40% chance of some small hail. And then as we come on up 77, you see that 77 is just a washout all the way from the Randolph County line up to just south of Shiloh. You don't want to be out there driving on 49 or 77. All right, so I'm just checking to see if we still have the severe thunderstorm warning in effect, and we do. It goes until 6:30. It's 5:59 now, so 31 more minutes on this severe thunderstorm warning. This is a relatively slow-moving thunderstorm. It's moving at about 22 miles per hour. Typically, these storms can move 35, 40, even 50 or 60 miles per hour, but 22 mile per hour is the direction this storm is moving in. So relatively slow mover, which doesn't help matters much because we may certainly see some ponding on I-20, maybe even some flash flooding taking place in some of these. A lot of low-lying areas right here along I-20. So we've got to watch for that. I mean, we're talking about 75, almost 3/4 of an inch of rain per hour is the rain rate right here. That's pretty hefty. All right, Miss Cecilia is reporting wind and rain in Penton. And that's going to be, it's going to be from this stuff right here that stretches from Penton back over to Rock Fence Farm, back up to Milltown there on 77. White Plains, you're about to get a little bit of that. That's this storm I was telling you about that was down there around Marcoot that's moving up to the north and northeast. So that's the north end of it, and then the south end of it stretches from just north of Lafayette back down to Chambers Academy, and then on down 431 just north of Tiger Corner. So from Buffalo up 77 to Pennon up to Milltown, that's your storm right there that's going to move on off to the east-northeast. It'll move over to 5 Point, Stroud. Doublehead may get in on that. Standing Rock may get in on some of this. Macocius Mill may see some of that. I'm not convinced Roanoke's going to get this one. It may slide a little bit south. Depends on if it builds to the north while it's moving northeast. We're going to have to kind of just watch how this one develops. It is building. There's no question about that. We'll see, Roanoke. You may get this one because it's building to the north as it's moving off to the east and northeast. So if you're in Roanoke, let's watch this thing down here around now moving just to the east of 77, just east of Pennon. Hogansville, you got a brand new one just popped up there, just north of Hogansville. All right, Lake Wedowee, R.L. Harris Reservoir. This stuff stretching from Shiloh down to just northwest of Wadley. That's moving in your general direction, and that's going to come right over at least the southern half of Lake Wedowee. It's probably going to end up getting the entire lake. I'm just going to put the tracks back on, and yeah, computer thinks Roanoke's going to get this one, so we'll go with that. This one's moving northeast at around 24 miles per hour. I'm going to switch over to level 3. Let's see if we can get that to work. All right. So anyway, you can see the track there of this storm down here just to the east and north of Penton is going to carry it right there, pretty close to Roanoke, maybe right over the city. So if you're in Roanoke and to the east, back over toward Rock Mill's going to watch this. It's below severe limits. There's nothing to be concerned about. It's just a thunderstorm. Right now, it's not even showing any lightning output. Just some heavy rainfall. And then down here around Lafayette, just south of Lafayette, the same thing. This is also going to move off to the northeast and get the central and northeastern sections of Chambers County and end up over here on Lake West Point. Again, back over here in Tallapoosa County. This one does have lightning output, and a pretty good bit of it. From Kalija all the way up to Wind Creek State Park. This storm's moving northeast at 23 miles per hour. There's an 80% chance of hail with this storm system. 10% chance that it could be on the severe side, so that's 3/4 of an inch or larger. So some decent size hail, lots of lightning, and torrential rainfall. Let's see what the output on that is. Yeah. So that's some pretty good rainfall down there also. Again, the cone is focused on the heaviest part of the storm, but you see how wide the storm is, so it's going to affect areas on 280 from just southwest or just southeast of Alexander City all the way back down toward Camp Hill as this one moves up to the northeast. Checking on our severe thunderstorm warning up here in Cleburne County. I think we still got some pretty good wind up here in this storm, right in this area from about Abernathy, right here where you see the curve back to the southwest. I think from I-20 back down to 46. Let me put a few road names on here for you. This is Cleburne County, County Road 126. County Road 665, County Road 75, County Road 454, County Road 126, County Road 25, County Road 5. These are all roads that are just in advance of this line of thunderstorms in Cleburne County. So if you're familiar with those locations, that's where the leading edge of the storm is. It is moving to the east, so you folks over here in Ranburne, Hightower, this is still to come. It's headed your way. Kentucky down here in Randolph County. This is right on your doorstep. Center West, Wildwood, Forester's Chapel, Liberty. That's leading edge of it down there in west central Randolph County. It's right there on the Randolph County-Clay County line, just to the east of Barfield. Move into the northeast. Again, if you are outside of this yellow area, this storm is not expected to be severe when it comes through. The reason the National Weather Service issued a severe thunderstorm warning up here is because of the threat of winds 60 mile per hour or greater. And that's going to be because of this bowing that you see right here coming through central and eventually southeastern Cleburne County. That's the most area of concern, where you see that bow right there. Let me see if we can, and we can't. So let's go back to level 2. All right, yeah, that seems to be working better over here. All right, so here are some updated times for you. Liberty Hill around 612, Oak Level around 621, Piney Woods about 625, Tallapoosa, that's in Georgia, around 729. Waco around 738. Buchanan around 741. Bremen around 741. Temple around 753. Rockmart 804. And Argonne around 804. Again, folks, those times are approximate. Don't completely rely on that. Sometimes storms can change, their complexity can change on a dime, and it can change the arrival time, either speed it up or slow it down. Those are just good estimates of when the leading edge of the worst weather should be there. go down here and look at this Auburn storm. Really heavy rainfall coming in on the west side of Auburn. Look at that. We almost got 60 dBZs reflectivity right there. Now, the dBZs is the strength of the signal that's coming back to the radar. And when it gets up there around 60 or 70, that's pretty significant. So that's some extremely heavy rainfall, and it may actually be that there is some small hail mixed in with the rain there, and that's why the liquid becomes so much, becomes dense when it's frozen. So that may be why the dBZs are coming back so high, or it may just be rain. It certainly could be. The rainfall output from these tropical type storms we've been seeing the last couple of days is just incredible. They are good water producers, and this afternoon, just like yesterday, is no exception. So very heavy rainfall right there out there on Wire Road, Highway 14 coming into Auburn. It's right there at the bypass on the west side, and that's going to come right over the campus. So if you're anywhere in Auburn, downtown Auburn, anywhere from Jordan-Hare Stadium all the way back up to Cedar Brook up there on the north end of 147, this is going to come right through town. Very, very heavy rainfall. So if it's raining in Auburn now, but that's not rain compared to what you're about to see. It's going to be really, really heavy here in just a few moments. So if you're downtown out there on the streets or wherever you may be in downtown Auburn, you might want to take cover now, because I don't think a raincoat would do you much good. The rain's that heavy. All right, our biggest lightning producer so far this afternoon has been this storm down here in Tallapoosa County. The one stretching from Wind Creek State Park now back down to Kalijah and back over to Bama Park. And this storm just isn't moving very quickly at all. The radar is showing 24 miles per hour to the northeast, but it's been hanging out down here now for the last 15 or 20 minutes. But you see the lightning output. This is total lightning strikes in the last 5 minutes. And I'm showing 59 of them just in this storm alone. So that's pretty good for a 5-minute time lapse. Again, very heavy rainfall down here, and that's coming right at Jackson's Gap. I think Dadeville gets in on it. Alexander City, this storm is intensifying. It kind of blew up on the east side of Alexander City out there on Highway 22. Going back up toward New Site. So that's coming at New Site, Goldville, Daviston, probably going to get some of this one. Daviston, if you don't get this northern storm in Tallapoosa, you're going to get the southern one. Either way, you're going to get some rain out of this also. Buxton, you're in line for some of this as well. Kellyton has a very small shower developing out there on Highway 280. And then we come on back up into Clay County, just a washout in Clay County. We have heavy rain now in Millerville, Chambers Springs, Campbell Springs, Delta, Lineville, Ashland, even back over here in Talladega County, Waldo, very heavy rainfall over there. The mountains just getting hammered up there at the state park. Lots of heavy rain. Needmore, Delta, Center West. Still raining pretty good now in Chulafini. The severe thunderstorm warning continues for Cleburne County. And I'm just checking to see if they have changed anything with the warning, and I don't see any change. So we still have a severe thunderstorm warning for now pretty much just Cleburne County, because the severe part of it's pretty much out of Clay. The severe part of this storm is going to be from right here in Cleburne County. And it's going to stretch all the way up to just north of Ranburne and then just east of Abernathy. If there's any wind left in this storm, that's where it's going to be. You see that bow sticking out right there. You take the tracks off. Now you can see it a little better. This area. Let me get the telestrator up. That area right there, that's where the heaviest wind threat would be. And this continues to move off in that general direction. Now, the wind may stay just north of Ranburne. It may stay north of 46 from this point on as it moves on into Georgia. Beginning to see a little intensification down here on the southern tip of it there, just north of Pine Tucky. So you're going to get rain, Ranburne, no question. And you're going to get a little gusty wind. But I think the highest wind, the worst wind, may stay just a little bit north of 46 from this point on. Hackneyville. Welcome, Hackneyville. We appreciate you joining us this evening. All right, you folks over in on Lake Wedowee. That's where I was trying to go. I got lost there for a second. So this storm is straddling the Clay County, Randolph County line down here in southwest Randolph and southeast Clay, and it's moving off to the north. May have a little bit more of a northern component to it than some of the other storms, but it's still moving in the general direction of Lake Wedowee. So the southern end of the lake's got the rain now. It's about to cross over 48, so it should get the majority of Lake Wedowee here in the next 30 minutes or so. But again, it's not severe. The only reason we're here is because of that yellow triangle up there. And as soon as that drops off, we will probably at least take a break. We may come back and update you later. But I got to tell you, once we get all this dark red out of the area, the threat of severe weather will go away pretty quick. And these southern storms down here, you see the difference in the lightning output. That's because these storms are down here by themselves, and they're in much more unstable air. We've had rain going on up here now for quite some time, but this stuff down here is just really putting out a lot of lightning, and that's going to be the biggest danger out of these two cells right now, and that one down there at Auburn. The biggest danger from those three cells is going to be the lightning, and they are relatively small when you compare it to this big mess up here around the I-20 corridor. All right, so we've got very heavy rain coming up on the south end of Roanoke now. As we see right here from Doublehead up to the south end of Roanoke, very heavy rainfall right there. So rain really getting heavy right there around Wright Field. Let me give you some locations here. There's Strozier Street. There's Seymour Drive. There's Louanna Road. There's Banks Road. There's Main Street. Heaviest rain now coming in right into downtown. Over there, about to move into the Mill Village area. We've got heavy rain over here on South Street. Out here on Lafayette Highway. There's West Point Street. There's East Avenue. That's over in the Mill Village. There's Radney Street. Well, Radney Street doesn't. Where's Price Street? Radney didn't want to work for some reason. But heavy rain moving into the south end of Roanoke now, as this storm down here in Chambers County is continuing to move off to the north. It is not severe. This is just heavy rain. And within this cell, the absolute heaviest area is going to be just north of Welch. Chambers County Road 249. And Chambers County Road 248. County Road 265. And County Road 265. That's where the heaviest part of this cell is, and that's down there in Chambers County. All right, folks, I'm going to step aside just for 1 second. Stay with me. I'll be right back. Okay, sorry about that. I am back now. All right, so again, we're going to stay with this until we lose that severe thunderstorm warning or until it gets out of our coverage area, whichever comes first. And I got to tell you, even though parts of Cleburne County are still technically covered under the severe thunderstorm warning, it's really only the south, from I-20 down to just north of Hightower that would be of any great concern right now. Certainly, you could be seeing some gusty winds in other parts of the county, but the part of the storm that's still in Alabama of concern is going to be between this white line and the Alabama state line. Now, of course, our folks over here in Georgia have got to deal with it as well. North of Bowden, pretty much all the way up to I-20, up to Tallapoosa. From Tallapoosa to Bowden, you'll be dealing with the heaviest part of this storm as it moves on into Carroll County. But as far as Cleburne is concerned, this little area right here is the only part of Cleburne County that's still under the threat of severe weather with this severe thunderstorm warning. I know they've got the polygon drone all the way up here to almost Jacksonville and up to the Cherokee County line, but you can see that there's nothing up there of any concern. It's right down here where this line kind of bows out. Thunder and lightning down here on Bud Cummins Road. I don't doubt it because we see you're hearing it on Bud Cummins Road, but the lightning strike is actually down here in Chambers County. And, of course, lightning travels through the clouds, so it looks like it's right on top of you when actually that last lightning strike that you heard on Bud Cummins Road is down here on Chambers County Road 237. I mean, you most likely saw it up there on Bud Cummins Road also, but it made ground contact down there in Chambers County. And that's the only, we got one down here in Stroud also. And those are the only two strikes that radar is showing in the last 3 or 4 minutes. But this storm is intensifying. It's getting a little bit heavier. But right now, it is mostly heavy rainfall down here in Roanoke all the way down 431. Just not a good ride at all from Roanoke all the way down to Stroud. Things get a little bit better in Chambers County if you're on 431 south of 5 Points. But if you're over here near Fredonia, they got hammered yesterday, and here it comes again. Very heavy rainfall about to move into the Fredonia area and just north of Highway 50. Some very heavy rainfall also. Amity Park, you folks over here on West Point Lake, Holiday Park. Get ready. You got some more heavy rain coming at you. Also, Standing Rock. This is going to move right over your area as well. Still some very heavy rain over here in Tallapoosa County. And this Tallapoosa County storm is by far, without question, the biggest lightning output storm we have had this afternoon. It's got more lightning output than that one that we got the severe thunderstorm warning for up in Cleburne. This is showing 20 strikes in the last 5 minutes, which isn't especially bad, but it's certainly respectable. And you see that this storm is laying down some water from our town back to Jackson Gap, up to New Site, back over to Hackneyville, and back down to Alexander City, all the way up to Goldville, about to move into New Site, and eventually we'll move into Daviston. And then when we get up here in Clay County and about to get into Randolph County, some very heavy rainfall there, just to the west of Mountain Community near Bluff Springs, Cooley Crossroads, Corinth over in Clay County, Harkins Crossroads, Shiloh, just south of Ashland, some heavy rain. And then look at Lake Wedowee, would you? Out here on Highway 48 from just west of Wedowee all the way back to just east of Lineville. 48 is a no-go right now. You hear what I'm saying? This is bad. I'm talking rain-wise. You would be hard-pressed to be able to see with your windshield wipers on high right here. So best idea is just don't do it. If you're in Wedowee going to Lineville, hey, go grab you a sandwich somewhere and hang out. If you're in Lineville about to head east toward Wedowee, go grab you a sandwich somewhere and hang out. Just don't drive 48 right now. It is not worth taking that chance because that's a lot of water coming down right there. And that's going to continue to slide on off to the north and to the east. So right now, the western half of Randolph County just covered up with heavy rain. The eastern half of Clay County and southeastern Clay County's got a lot of heavy rain. And then we have this storm sitting down here from Roanoke all the way back down to around Lafayette that's moving off to the northeast, laying down a lot of water as well. A couple of scattered showers over here in Troup County near Gabbettville, and then to the northeast of Hogansville near Moreland, just north of downtown Noonan. A small shower up here northwest of Central Hatchie. And some heavy rain moving up here into Carroll County, up here right along the interstate, right there along I-20. Basically, from Tallapoosa back down to High Point. And y'all have to bear with me. I have been fighting sinus trouble now for about a month and a half. And it's about to get the best of me. Certainly about to get the best of my voice. And then back down here to Auburn. Let me go back and investigate what's happening down here. Now, the lightning doesn't seem to be quite as bad as it was earlier in this storm. And we have got the storm out of Auburn for the most part. We just have light rain falling there. Now it's moving through Opelika. So anywhere from Hornet Stadium down here at Beauregard up to Opelika, up to Roanoke Junction, you know where it's at, all the way up 431 up to the Chambers County line. Is not a good ride right now. That's a lot of rain coming down. I-85 is getting their fair share of it right there as well. So this storm eventually will get over here to Beans Mill. It probably will get to Casita. And Valley, it's going to be a close call for you. The way this one is moving, I'm not so sure it's going to get, well, I'll take that back. If you believe the radar, and that's displaced a little bit, but if you move that polygon upstream there it goes, where it should be, then Valley, you're going to be close. I mean, you see that the polygon line just, it cuts right through the middle of downtown Valley. So heaviest part of this storm is going to be a close call for Valley. You're going to get some rain out of it. The north end of it's going to slide right over Valley. But the heaviest part of it's down here where the polygon is. So it's going to be a close call for Valley. And again, we're watching this severe thunderstorm warning. It's in effect for one more. What? It just went away. I was about to say it's in effect for one more minute. Then the clock rolled over to 6:30 Central, and the warning went away. So we have lost all warnings for East Alabama at this time. Now let me go back up here to the chat board. And if there's any questions, I'll answer them for you, and then we're going to wrap this up until we get another warning, if we do. Thanks for the report, Lori. I appreciate that. Deborah's asking the question, is this going to be an all-nighter? Deborah, that's a hard one to answer because here's how this stuff works this time of year. And for the foreseeable future, for the next week or so, we're covered up with tropical moisture that's coming up off the Gulf of Mexico. There's just nothing to block it. So we've got a southern stream or southwestern moisture flow coming up into Alabama and Georgia. And so we could have a scattered shower at just about any time, day or night. But then when you add the heating of the day in on top of it, that's what's causing these things to really go to town. Typically speaking and historically speaking, as we lose the heat of the day, so shall the storms fade. But that's not always the case. If we get a little ripple along one of these little disturbances that are moving through and get some lift going, then we could have a thunderstorm in the middle of the night. So it's hard to say if it's going to be an all-nighter. You see that we do have storms still back over in West Alabama and East Mississippi. Out there around I-20, if those storms hold together and move to the east, northeast, we certainly could see some more storms into East Alabama and West Georgia before the night is over with, and that'd be a couple of 2-3 hours down the road, which would put those storms in here, 9:30ish, 10:30ish tonight. So certainly could see some more showers and thunderstorms. These storms that we've got right now are just not really moving all that fast. So this may last for another 30 to 45 minutes or so. And then later on we could see some more stuff come in, and we could have more storms form before the storms you see over here in West Alabama makes it in. So that's just a tough question to answer. I think the better chances will fade in time. By midnight tonight, I think the best chances will be completely gone for showers and thunderstorms, but can't rule it out. Not in this type of weather setup. Yes, Woodland, you're going to get in on this. Let's see. All right, so there's Woodland right there, and you see what's just off to your west and southwest. That's some heavy stuff right there around Wedowee, right along Highway 48. And every bit of that is moving off to the east, northeast. So, yep, coming right at you, Woodland. Let me turn the track on. Well, it's not picking up anything in that storm, but I can tell you, see those pinks right there? That's some very heavy rainfall right there about Lake Wedowee Marina, and that's moving off to the northeast, so it's coming right at Woodland. You're welcome, Deborah. Folks, let me say this before I get out of here. If you want to help Dr. Don's weather page, if you want to help us out, of course, we welcome any type of support you want to give us, because this is a very expensive venture. And you can do that by going to drdonwx.com. That's our website. Let me just put it on here for you. There's the website, and there's a donation button at the top of the page if you want to help us out. If you own a business and you want to be a supporter, if you'll go to the menu there on the top of the website, all the way over at the right-hand side, click on More, and then you can scroll down to Dr. Don Support Packages, and you can pick out whatever your budget is. You can pick out a package, and we can get you started tomorrow. But one of the other things you can do that will help us tremendously is share Dr. Don's weather. Share it with your friends. If you're on Facebook, make sure you like Dr. Don's weather page. Make sure you go over to the East Alabama Weather Group and request to become a member if you're not already. And make sure you share all of that with your friends. The more folks we can get to come into our group and to follow Dr. Don's weather page, the better off we are. That gets our numbers up and it helps us out. If you have YouTube, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. That helps us also. And if you know someone who has not downloaded the Dr. Don Weather app, please share with them the link to go download our app. And that link to download our app is also right there at drdonwx.com. It's very top of the page. It says download app. You can click on it and then share that with all your friends and all your family members. Copy the link, go to your Facebook page, and post the link on your Facebook so it'll share with all of your friends and family members, and encourage everyone to download the app. It's like the iPhone portion is $5.99 one time. And so that doesn't, that's less than 50 cents a month for a cup of coffee. You can't beat it, and it's only for one time. So it really is not a monthly thing. And then over on the iPhone side, it's $2.99 to download. And that helps us offset the cost because there is a pretty hefty price involved with publishing the app on the Apple Store and on the Android side as well. So help us out if you can. We certainly do appreciate it. If you can't help us monetarily, then certainly you can help us by sharing on your Facebook, your social media. Share it on Twitter also. Dr. Don's got a Twitter account over there. So get it out there, and let's share it with all of our friends and family and see if we can get more folks on board with us. We greatly appreciate that. All right, so we've lost all of our warnings right now, and you know what the deal is. Typically, we don't go live unless we have something severe going on. So we're going to put this to bed, but now I got to tell you, this is some pretty heavy weather right here, especially down here in Tallapoosa County, from 280 all the way up to New Site, up into southeastern Clay County to around Mellow Valley. That's a lot of lightning going on right there. New Site, Daviston, you got a good storm on top of you. It's not severe, but it is respectable. So take note of that. And then in Randolph County, basically from Highway 48 from Wedowee back over to the Clay County line and north, and to the along and just west of 431, very heavy rainfall. Swag Community, Wedowee, Ava Community, about to move into Woodland, and up there around Folsom, some very heavy rainfall. Our severe storm has weakened, and what's left of it has moved on into Georgia up there in northern Carroll County. I-20, still not a good ride, though, from Bremen all the way back to Bynum, really all the way back to Pell City. Still a lot of water falling out there on I-20. Some heavy rain over here in Georgia around Moreland. Still got some heavy rain there just to the east of Roanoke. That storm's moving on out Highway 22. It'll end up in Georgia in a few minutes. And then up here northeast Chambers. Boy, they need some more rain after yesterday. Amity Park, Fredonia, all the way up to Standing Rock. Just copious amounts of rain falling out there. Highway 109. From Welch back over toward the Georgia state line, just a washout at the moment. So don't travel out there if you don't have to, folks. All this stuff will be gone a little bit, and you can get out there and do your driving around. So that's going to wind it up for tonight's severe weather coverage, unless there is another warning issued. And if there is, we'll be right back in here with you. You have been listening to live severe weather coverage on Dr. Don's weather page and the Southern Union Severe Weather Center. Thanks, guys, and we'll see you this time tomorrow.